Hello, everyone. Welcome to VKH Live. If you made it with such short notice, congratulations. You guys are the realest, the coolest. We had a special sort of event planned that we weren't sure if it was going to be able to happen or not, but VKH actually has had a few people at Tekko 2018 covering LM.C and their events and things like that. And for those of you who weren't keeping up with it, LM.C just had their concert last night, and we've managed to get a hold of Winona on her way back from Tekko today. And so she's going to kind of give us a live from the scene or live from leaving the scene like update on all the different events that LM.C did at Tekko, and talk about the concert and all that stuff. So, you know, if you guys wanted to go and couldn't make it, this is going to be like the earliest, quickest, like inside scoop kind of thing. So, you know, apologies again for the last minute announcement and everything, but this stream will be up afterwards. So if you have any friends that like would be interested in this and they can't make it right now, if you could share this with us, that would be great. If you want more stuff like this, absolutely, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do live streams every Saturday evening, and then we do spontaneous ones based on special events like this fairly occasionally. And yeah, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Winona, who is in the car. How's it going, Winona? Are you there?
It's me. It's my go time.
Hello.
Get my camera on. Turn on camera. Camera on. Okay, I am in the car. It's rather dark. I look like I'm a floating head. This is crazy. Oh my god. So I'm doing all right. I have a good 6-hour drive until I get back. But yeah, the show was really good. There was a really good turnout. I think we should, but real quick, Jeff, I wonder if you could reach out to Shiro and see if she could get online. But also,
yeah, sure.
What should I start with?
Why don't we talk about the oh, and by the way, for people in the chat, just quick disclaimer, because Winona is on a cell, you know, she's using her cell phone. If it lags a little bit, we may just like turn off the cameras to do a better connection and stuff. So just bear with us. We seem to have a pretty good connection right now, though. So, but why don't we go ahead and start with like the events leading up to the concert, while, you know, we wait for more people to maybe like come in, and then and then you can dive into the concert itself.
Okay, perfect. That gives me the opportunity to try and properly move all of my notes, because I'm waiting for the note to show up in my Gmail account notes. But yeah, the events leading up to the concert, well, as some know, I was working the booth for Fake Star. And I actually got to meet the person who said that they were driving up from Georgia. Super nice. It was so nice meeting all the fans, first of all. Just nice to meet the whole community for LM.C. Leading up to the show, I'd say everything started Friday, right? And it was, man, it's hard to think about it, because that whole whirlwind started for me like at like 5:30 in the morning, having to like get up, get dressed, go set up booth, and then just be ready to sell merch. But see, I'm trying to remember. It's all working together.
What events did they have? Was there a Q&A for Mana, I think I saw?
You mean LM.C?
Yeah, or LM.C.
Okay, here's what happened. They were at opening ceremonies, because I knew they only had one thing on their schedule that day. They were at opening ceremonies, and then they went, that was it. Yeah, just opening ceremonies, I think. Then they went and they signed the banner that ended up being given away at the end of the whole show. And so they were like near the table for like 5 seconds, literally, and walked away. And then the next day, which was the day of the concert, they had, well, we interviewed them also on Friday. That was right after they had signed the banner, after opening ceremonies. So you can look out for that too. The next day was the day of the concert, and they had a Q&A at about like 12:30. It started a little late, but it went for like 30 minutes, and it was pretty entertaining, pretty fun to sit in on it. And they gave some pretty insightful answers to some questions. Like the week prior, Maya was featured in Tokyo Girls Collection walk, I think, like the runway walk for that fashion show, and somebody had asked about it, and he said that, well, like the difference between that and like going on to stage. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera because this is, my lighting isn't working for me. But
okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he said that it was between going on stage and walking the runway. It was earlier having to walk the runway, but it was easier because all he had to do was just show up, walk, and then he was done, you know. And he would be, as far as doing fashion shows again, for that. As far as doing fashion shows again, he would he wouldn't he wouldn't do them again. I have a light on now, so not light enough. Okay, let's see. Not light enough. It's okay. Still not enough light. It's okay. Yeah, please bear with me. It's a drive home. Yeah, but I think that was everything that led up to the show. But I think the big thing was that while we were selling the merchandise, for every $20, people got like a raffle ticket to win a signed banner or a signed signboard, basically an autographed signboard that was going to be given away today, earlier today. And then we ended up like raffling off a bunch of other stuff that I can explain later. Or I could explain now, probably better. Yeah, the following the concert, we had like autographings and sold more merch, gave away more tickets. Sunday, we sold more merch and gave away more tickets, but we also figured out like lucky bags to give. The band wanted to give everyone lucky bags because they were so happy with the show and the turnout for it that they ended up deciding to create two kinds of lucky bags. A small one that had $100 worth of merchandise in it for $50, and then a big one with $150 worth of merchandise in it for $100. And 2 bags of all 10 bags had a checky in it, I think. And those, like, the checky of the band, and the band doesn't really do checkies like ever, so those were like 2 like extra lucky bags. I don't know how to word that otherwise. And then during the raffle, which started at like 2:30 today, we gave away, the band signed their badges, and we gave those away. And then we had like 5, we gave away like 5 of IG's picks, and we gave away a large Tekko Con banner that we had posted. We posted a picture of it on Twitter if anyone wants to see it. I had put it up like 30 minutes before the show started. And we gave away the signboard, and I think that was everything that we had given away today. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty good weekend. Everything went pretty smoothly from my end. From what I could see, it went pretty smoothly. Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. And chat, by the way, before we dive into the concert, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to know about while we're covering like this, just leave it in the chat, and I will I'll read it out periodically. But yeah, let's go ahead and if that was all the kind of all of the non-concert, events and happenings, let's get into the concert.
Well, I have notes somewhere on my phone from the actual Q&A, but if I can find those, and that would be great, because I literally only took notes on things that I thought was pretty noteworthy and might be nice for the fans to hear from the band. Like
okay,
folks.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I got them. Yeah, so there were like a couple questions that kind of stood out to me and I thought were nice. Like somebody asked if the band had any favorite songs throughout their career with the band, but IG said that like their favorite, like off their current album Veda, their favorite is the Buddha because of the feeling the song carries. and we asked about like Veda in general, and they explained to us like it has Buddhist motifs, so that's why like there's like certain things like Buddhism, like certain kinds of sounds and messages and stuff in there. Like that was during our interview separately. And then somebody else asked if they had a favorite costume, and IG said it's hard to pick a favorite costume, but for Super Duper Galaxy, we made helmets, and these are helmets that you'll never see anything else. Like you'll never see anything like it in the world. And then Maya, being pretty funny, said like what he was wearing at that moment, which was like he was wearing like just like a baseball cap with a gold-plated Playboy logo on it, and some sunglasses and like some sweats and like jeans. So people had a pretty good laugh. And but at that point they had seen like some fans cosplaying their first look from when they had started out as LMC in 2006, and Maya said that was a display of their, like, they said it was a cosplay of their first costume when they started as LMC, and every time they come overseas and see someone wearing it, it always makes them happy. It always makes them really happy. So it's like really nice for them, yeah. Somebody asked if they were going to open the fan club to other members, which I'm sure a lot of people were wondering. And IG said they're constantly thinking about it, but there's so many hurdles of actually getting it there that they can't really do it yet because there's so many opportunities that they want to share with LMC fans. And Maya started like taunting the crowd, saying like, do you want to join? Don't say you want to join and then not join, because he asked them that and everyone cheered, and then followed up with don't say you want to join and then not join. And then
okay. So was the fan club it's closed like to additional fans or just overseas fans?
I think it's just for domestic fans right now, and that's why people are wondering if they'll ever open it up to overseas fans. But like as you said, like I understand like there's a lot of logistics behind trying to open up an overseas fan club that they aren't really able to get past quite yet, and they've probably been working on it for a while, so possibly soon. Let's see. Oh yeah, and regarding the Tokyo Girls thing, the Tokyo Girls collection fashion show, he said it was, I'm going to re-quote it because I have written notes open now. He said it was his first time working in a fashion show, and he didn't have plans to do another one. And then he went to how, as the experience went, it was easy compared to concerts, even though it was early because he was just able to walk the runway. And then he asked anybody if they had seen it live in real time or if they watched it online live, because they might be able to find him on YouTube because it was fierce.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then somewhere, my notes are totally clear. Oh yeah, and then he said 10 years ago they did Gimmickle Impact, and it was the first time that they got to tour a lot, and it wasn't really fun, but it was exciting. I missed the question for that because I was writing down all the stuff about Tokyo Girls fashion show. And somebody asked if LMC and Miyavi might do a collaboration, because Maya, it's known by some fans that Maya used to work with Miyavi in his past life. And Maya said, I worked with Miyavi a long time ago, and he's a bit crazy. We get asked that a lot, and well, maybe we should do it as like a surprise, like in the US at least. And he's like, maybe we might just go ahead and do it. So, little Easter egg for fans.
I could see Miyavi versus LMC like coming off really well.
Right, like especially like at a convention or something. That would be really interesting to see. Yeah, and that's all that I grabbed. That's all that I grabbed from the panel before I ran out and went back to the booth.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah. On to the concert then. The entree, I guess.
Oh yes. How many is everyone listening? Is everyone ready to hear my extensive notes on the concert and all that it was? Because I haven't been able to consolidate these yet.
Press 1 if you're ready, chat. Adjust your socks because they're going to be blown off.
Socks, yes.
Yeah. I think we're good to go to jump into it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start out by saying, it was a really, really good sized crowd. You know how conventions are. People, you have all the hardcore fans up in the front, and then as you get closer and closer to the back, you get further away from the stage. It's more or less like people who are just curious about the band, which is understandable because a lot of people. Well, we had a TV playing at our booth, and there were a lot of people who kind of just went by and like stopped and looked at it like, whoa, a whole television playing a whole concert. And we had like a little sign saying, see them on Saturday night at 7:30 main events. So I think I recognized a lot of faces from that moment. And it was nice because they had such a nice turnout. And like a good, like at least half the room was like full of like actual LMC fans. It was really nice. And there were a lot of people cheering as the band, but like before they got inside the room, as they were standing in line, a lot of people were cheering as the band was going through sound check because they could hear them like through the walls, and they were getting pretty rowdy. And that got the band pretty excited, pretty hyped to get on stage and perform for everybody, because they made some comments prior, I think, during the fan panel that they wanted to that they give every show that they have what they've got, and during our interview they were like they treat every single one like their last, because like they just want to like should anything happen, they just want to know that they always gave it their all, which was a really nice comment. So I'm just going through my notes, and I'm going to try and reword it as best as I can, because these are just like as it was happening. I just wrote down whatever I saw.
Sure.
Yeah. So
No
when the concert was about to start, there was an MC on stage and went to introduce the band, saying, "How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the LM.C concert for Tekko." And then they went through the rules of no video during the performance and no photos, I think. And then the crowd was like going wild. They just so full of anticipation for LM.C, because they were like standing outside for God knows how long, and started a little late, as any concert typically goes. It always starts a little late. But the atmosphere was just like really buzzing, because a lot of those fans who were there, it was their first time seeing the band ever, and they'd been fans of the band for years. Like, a lot of people told me that this was the first band they ever got into, like, or it was like at least one of the top 5 bands that they ever got into, and they were just huge fans. And I think somebody like was like about to cry because they were so excited to see them. And yeah, it was just like that kind of energy was brought to this show, and you could feel it just standing there as it was about to begin, as LM.C was about to take the stage. And when they finally got on stage, with there was smoke filling the stage, so nobody could truly see them as they approached the stage. But once they got onto the stage, it was like they just kind of came out of the smoke, like they materialized in the smoke, and the crowd was just going nuts for them. And then they went into the first song. Let me go through. Oh my gosh, I am so unprepared for this because I'm in the car.
No, it's fine. I know I got you on the spot for this, but
yeah, my set list is like in my backpack, but I also have it on my phone, so it's okay. They walked out onto the stage to Strong Pop, to Be Strong Be Pop, which is a sound effects song. But the first song they went into was Let Me Crazy, and that just had like a lot of red flashing lights, and the crowd was just jumping so hard, and they were singing along passionately, as many of them were just so excited and already knew the lyrics. And Maya was just enjoying himself heavily, and so was IG. Like, Maya was like throwing rock hands and just kept going through the verses, just so much passion into the microphone. I wish I could word things better because my notes are crap.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're totally fine. So it sounds like there was like a big, like it sounds like they went out of their way to have some concert effects and stuff like that, even though it's an overseas show.
Like the lighting was really interesting, because initially when I went out there, it was like the backdrop was super colorful, and the lights were like mostly white to like show that they were mostly colorful. But when the band went on stage, like I couldn't totally see their outfits until after the lights went to a bright white, or at least I got closer, because I'm low-key blind. But they were dressed in, it was funny because they were dressed in a lot of their band merch, which made a lot of people want to buy their merch right after the show during the autographing, because like Maya and Aiji were wearing the black Dharm chakra shirts with a gold print on it, which a lot of people weren't really buying until they saw them, which was really interesting. And Maya was wearing like this LM.C choker necklace that is adjustable to become a choker if you wanted it to be. And it was a nice length and stuff. And a lot of fringe, so much fringe. Maya had on like this fringe, I want to say shawl. It was like a fringe shawl that covered his shoulders, and then it was more like a vest, I'd say. And then IG had like fringe to like match it, but it wasn't to the same extravagance as what Maya was wearing. And they were just in all black and gold, but with the white lights. It was like just emphasizing how colorful the band could be, because the backdrop was literally a rainbow. And then they had some additional laser lights going through that and the smoke at certain points during the show. But they did manage to play like, they managed to like go through a good number of songs that were both old and new, because I think they're kind of aware of like where their fans stand. Like they know that they have fans who love their old stuff, and then they know that they need to like bring forth their new stuff as well and showcase who they are now. Because their concept, like as we talked about them before, like their concept really, they're not so much their concept, their sound changed a lot, because they don't really have a concept. It's just they make whatever they want to make at that moment. And that's what they said during our interview with them. So yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay.
It was that. Yeah, after Let Me Crazy, they played Double Dragon, and it just seemed like a lot of the energy that was there just continued into the next song, because as the songs ended, Maya, or during any of the songs, Maya just engaged with the fans super well. And IG was just headbanging so hard that I never actually got to really see his face. Like he was literally just a sea of hair with a guitar as he was on stage. And then at certain points, he'd like go up to the edge and like engage with the audience. And there was a catwalk on the stage as well. So they would like go up to the catwalk to really engage with the audience more when they felt that the time was right and stuff like that. Yeah, and a lot of times Maya was like getting the crowd to chant and make them go even crazier. So when it flowed into like Double Dragon, the crowd was just already clapping to the beat, and Maya had a tambourine. I didn't know when he got the tambourine. I just know that I was taking my notes and I looked up, and then he had one in his hands, and he was getting everyone to move along to the beat, and we clapped with him. And the music was just so loud that it was shaking the camera. The music was so loud it was shaking the cameras, and also causing dust to come from the ceiling of the venue, of like that hall. Like I don't even think like it was the volume of the music. I think it was just how much harder those beats were, because they were going hard on their instruments. Honestly, everyone was just going super hard, especially the drummer. Yeah, there was a small platform, but that was hardly used, to be honest, because just Maya's so tall, he doesn't need it. The music is so funny. And they were literally wearing their band merch, mentioned that. Certain moments that the fans truly enjoyed that I don't think I can mention. And then whenever songs slowed down, the crowd would like fall into a lull accordingly. But like it was interesting because you never felt like there was a dull moment in the audience. It just felt like they were just regathering their energy, like gathering their strength again, preparing for the next breakdown because they knew it was going to come. And then as soon as it hit, they went even harder than they did the first time. And then so did the band. And then you just get like Maya just playing with his vibrato the whole time, testing his vocal range even more and more. Whenever he wasn't actually due to sing, he would just keep ad-libbing the whole time, which made it just feel more fun. It just made it feel more open-ended, less totally orchestrated, you know?
Yeah. I got a question from the chat. Who were the support members?
Support members? I don't know. I don't know, but they had like these hype men somewhere. I don't remember what song it was because I'm not going through my notes at the moment. But when I get to that point in my notes, I will tell you what song it was. Somewhere in the concert, like toward the second half of it, they had these hype men come out, or they were like along the sides of the stage, and they were shaking pom-poms like cheerleaders, and it was actually kind of amazing. Like it was, because you know how like they always have the skull mask guy, rock hand skull mask guy at their shows and stuff that you mentioned last time. Yeah, instead of him, they just had masked men shaking pom-poms on the side of the stage at certain points.
Oh, wow.
And it was really funny, but it was funny and entertaining and just made it more fun because I was like, wow, like that was a surprise to me. As far as the members, I wasn't sure.
It kind of sounds like what I expect from an LM.C concert. That's cool. Another question was, how are the acoustics at the venue? And then I was going to piggyback on that and just ask, like, what kind of venue was it? Was it like like a convention, like, or an arena, or was it more like a hall?
Well, first, the acoustics were actually really good. I didn't need earplugs, and it was loud enough that I could hear it when. Well, I didn't actually. Yeah, it was loud enough that I could hear it when I was outside of the hall. When I did leave the hall for things, but I could hear things clearly. Like I could tell when the songs changed, and I could tell each song apart. So it sounded like it did on the recordings. Honestly, as far as what kind of room it was literally like it was a main events room, like just a really big room. It wasn't like an arena. It was a standing room with some chairs set up in the back and like DJ booths, DJ decks set up too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was going through Double Dragon. I'm gonna skip through Double Dragon and say, yeah, I got people to continue a call and repeat and get everybody to say yeah, and then yeah. He was just really hyped and just kept getting the crowd super engaged. So nobody stopped waving their arms in the air, honestly. And they just kept shrieking, even as no, yeah. He got them to shriek yeah as the song was ending. Like it started to end out, and that just kept, like, whenever he interacts with the crowd, it just gets them more excited. But he always interacts with them the most whenever the songs were ending. So then whenever they stopped playing and were preparing for MCs, the crowd would just keep screaming. And the band would just be like in the back of the stage, like drinking water, and the lights would be blue, and it would be very clear that they are not about to move on to the next song for like the next like 2 minutes at least, because they're about to talk to them. Yeah, and it's really interesting because Maya like spoke a lot of English during all of his MCs. He was like, hey, what's up, you guys? We're LM.C. Yeah, finally, we're so excited to be here. How about you guys? Like he was literally talking the way I was, and everybody was just like screaming. And he was like, "Oh wow, cool, yeah." Like he was like, "Let me hear you scream," and then everybody screamed. He was like, "Yeah."
Oh wow! So is he like? Is he pretty? I guess fluent in English?
His English is pretty good. Like wow. He's not like totally fluent, because there was a point, like I think it was like during the third MC, where he's like, all right, I'm gonna bring out my translator, and he literally introduced the translator, Ryan. I think it was like the second or third MC that he did that. So he basically made that translator famous low-key with that crowd. So it was interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I was just talking to the translator. They were like, I didn't want this. Like, they didn't want fame. It was funny. Let's see. Yeah, and then to get people going again while he was just talking to them, introducing everybody, he was like the guitar and drums. Like, yeah, I kind of missed that part because I was writing a lot. He was like, let's get rock. Let's rock it up. I don't know how to. I'm gonna change that for when I'm writing it, but that was what he said. So everybody was just screaming, just so happy, like, because they were surprised Maya was speaking so much English, and they just were more hyped. And then this third song came on, which was a fan favorite. It was Ghost Heart, and just people just were singing along because they knew all the lyrics, and it was just kind of endearing. Like a lot of the songs, I'm gonna just go through the set list right now because like. It's no point in really going through my notes the way that I am because it's just so poorly written, but I will for certain details. Like he played like Ghost Heart and Medley and Funny Phantom, and they were people just like the way how people were about those songs. At any given moment, should Maya's mic have given out, the crowd would have been fully prepared to have picked it up, because when they played like Oh My Juliet and and like Punky Heart at the very end. They played Punky Heart during the encore. When they played those songs, like the crowd was singing as loud as Maya was on a microphone, which was really interesting. And there were parts where like you could see on Maya's face that like, and like on IG's face too, like you could see it on the band's faces that they really like, they took that to heart. Like they really appreciated how much people loved them and like listened to their music that religiously to be able to compete with the vocalist on vocals, first of all, and second of all, that they knew all the lyrics in Japanese to that extent. And yeah, it was just such a nice moment, and you could tell the band was so happy with how everything went. But yeah, they played like Oh My Juliet, Crazy a Go Go, Maguro, and 88, which is got everyone crazy again, and the lights kind of just went wild for that. I'd written down the names of all these songs too. 88. Then they played one Row Walk, which was also pretty popular with our readers. I remember when we did a poll. That, and then they played Avocado, and I kind of asked them a lot of questions about Avocado during our interview too, because I was just genuinely curious about how it fit in with the album. But that more to come on that on when it gets published. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sheer is available to pop in, by the way.
Yeah, let's get Hiro on here, and I can just try and figure out where things are on my phone.
Okay.
For my interview, but not for my interview, my review. Yeah. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Yeah, song 3. Yeah, they were playing that. At one point, song lights turned like turquoise for Medley, and backtrack. I think the backtrack was what really got people hyped for it because they automatically recognized it, and Maya just like kind of skipped around the drums. And if anyone wasn't going crazy or on the edge of crying, they were at least like bobbing their heads by that point, and fists were just like flying in the air, and they just pumped their fists to the beat, and as the band was building up, only to be sprayed with water from the band, because like they were like in the back. I couldn't totally see in the back, but apparently they drank water, ran up to the front of the catwalk. Everyone was super excited, and they just sprayed water on everybody.
Oh, wow.
It was a cute moment, and that of course made everyone go even crazier and just want to party harder. And then I just saw more dust flutter from the ceiling, and I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to break the venue? Yeah, they greeted the fans at the end of the catwalk, and IG crouched down, and the crowd was like reaching out to touch him, and he was just like headbanging and was playing his guitar as he was going. And the transitions were super smooth between all of the songs. Let's see, the song that followed Medley was Funny Phantom, and Maya was just like kept encouraging the crowd to jump, and then when they weren't moving enough, he wanted them to just do more, and then he just kept singing. That was all I wrote. He sang.
This is really good to know, because yeah, I wasn't sure what the state of LMC's international fan base was.
Yeah, same. Like it's really interesting because a lot of the fans, I know that a lot of people said that they like fell off in 2012, and they explained that actually like during a panel, or at least during our press junket. They were like a certain amount of their albums might not be available overseas because they had switched record labels, which was something that I thought had happened before. Like management might have changed, but like so from 2012 to 2017, it was literally just because they had changed labels to somebody that didn't want to put their music up for international audiences, which is unfortunate because that is when a lot of people ended up falling off. Hi, Shiro. There's when a lot of people ended up falling off and said that they just kind of fell out of touch because they couldn't get their music. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're talking about the show. I left off when they were playing Funny Phantom and was about to go into the second MC.
Oh.
Said if I can find all my proper quotes. I literally just quote. I just wrote everything down as song and then the familiar woohoo plays.
Well, if you want to take a moment just to like go through and gather your thoughts and stuff. Thanks, guys, for hopping on. I know I caught you, pretty, like in the middle of traveling and stuff. But Shiro, like, what do you want to give like your general thoughts on like what you thought of the concert?
I can honestly say it's in my top 3 best concerts that I've been to.
Wow. Okay.
I can honestly say that. And I've been to quite a few.
Yeah, you have. Wow, that's quite a statement coming from you.
Action with the fans was amazing. Their stage performance and presence was outstanding. I can't compliment the concert enough, really. As you can probably tell by my voice, it's kind of scratchy.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm sure there was lots of shouting and cheering and stuff going on.
Very much so. They played so many of the songs I enjoyed listening to when I was a teenager. So I was definitely singing along and screaming.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Winona was saying that they were visibly like impressed by like how well the fans knew like all the lyrics.
Yeah, they were definitely like noticeably impressed by it. You could tell, and the crowd only messed up once when Maya went, so that's pretty good too.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I remember there was like one MC, like what was it? One MC happened where Maya was like, "Do you know the song 88 in English?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you do? Okay, sing it." And he like just stood there and waited, and the crowd was like, "Wait, what? Are you serious?" And then they were like, and he was like, "No, it's cool. That's pretty good. It's all right."
Yeah, no, everyone just kind of cheered. They didn't quite. I guess they weren't quite.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but then when they actually played the song, people actually knew all the lyrics, and he was like, "Oh snap!" And then he like kind of like got into it a little bit more because it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know if you saw Shiro, but like there were points where the band like was really trying to stay composed, like maintain a certain position on the stage for like slow songs. But even during those slow songs, they like had done such a good job of getting the crowd hyped. Like even people who weren't fans of them were super excited because of the band's charisma, and they did such a good job that the crowd was also getting the band hyped, and the band was visibly trying not to like go crazy on the stage because they were like, doing slow songs. It was funny.
Maya was like, "It's almost painful to hold back."
Yeah, it was a really good show, and I remember like at the end they like surprised everyone with confetti. There were confetti cannons.
Oh my!
At the very end of
crap out of me,
and I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, that scared me too because I was literally like crouched down, just tapping away all my notes, and then boom, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Where did all this confetti come from?"
And suddenly we're all blinded by confetti.
Yeah, literally like that. There was so much confetti that all you see is confetti. You don't see the stage or the band members, no matter what angle you're at, because they were covered in confetti, and you had to just wait for it all to fall.
Yeah, they had to keep shaking their bodies so that confetti would fall off of them.
We've got a quick question from the chat. Did they say if they were coming back?
They say if we ask for them, they will
want
come back.
They want to do a tour. They want to do things. They want to come back.
Yeah, they do. They definitely want to come back. I couldn't think of the word, but yes, they definitely want to come back.
They also, well, they did tell us that they're working on a new album, so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh,
whenever there's an album, they'll do things. So they're working on a new album. Here we go.
Yeah, maybe they'll maybe try and make a push to like make it available, in the States and stuff.
Yeah, maybe
spark interest for a tour, that kind of thing, But did they say anything? This is another chat question.
Okay.
Did they say anything about you know, how the US fans were reacting versus like how the Japanese fans usually react?
They actually,
Did they?
yeah, they did make a comment about it. They said how Japanese fans react more to the words when they're performing, but when they come overseas, the like American fans, we react more towards the beat and the music instead, and it's a completely different reaction between the two to their music, and they love that.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because that explains a lot of like they just seemed a lot more, everybody just seemed way more engaged with each other in that sense because whenever the band hyped up the crowd simultaneously hyped up the band, and then it just kept building and building and building from there, and it never felt like the concert was going to end. And it really, when it did end, it felt like it ended too soon.
I completely.
And mind you, the concert went on for like an hour and a half, so it was like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't. It just felt like 30 minutes, honestly. The way how that show was going, it just went so smoothly, and they just did such a good job. It was such a great show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I just kind of had the suspicion that it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to like, you know, discount like the professionalism of some of these like popular like musicians and stuff, or like the you know, the experience. But it's like you really get that feeling if you like marathon through like their discography, that it's like the consistency of like the energy that they have and stuff, that it's like I just remember listening being like, oh man, these guys would really know what they're doing like at a live performance. I can like feel it like in the music and everything.
They definitely know what they're doing. They I forgot.
They know the formula.
Yeah, they do. They know the formula.
They figured it out. They figured out the secret stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that about LMC though. So it sounds like the lyrics to their songs are what really engages their fans.
Yeah, which makes sense because they say that they said that they work on they write songs based on whatever they're feeling at that moment, and like Monroe Walk for one, like that was super popular with their fans because like in Japan at least, it was popular because the message in that song is like, if you're going through a hard time like emotionally or anything, just like keep going. Like it's really encouraging people to just keep going no matter what, which was super nice.
Like life is important and you shouldn't waste it.
Yeah, kind of. That wasn't exactly what they said, I don't think, but yeah. Well, was it? Yeah. I can't totally remember everything that we were told through the translator. It's been a long weekend. I think that was said
in the Q&A. That's
okay.
Yeah,
I came in like I was 10 minutes late going to Q&A, and I left 10 minutes early. So.
Yeah, that's where I had heard how, because someone asked the question about how the Japanese fans react to their music versus overseas fans. Yeah, they asked that question, and that was the answer they gave.
I like their answer better than most answers I've ever heard for that question, because that actually gives you a reason. That actually gives you an explanation of things.
Yeah, that was a different answer than I was expecting, because like most bands I've seen, it's like was it like Japanese audiences are quiet and respectful, and American audiences are crazy and rowdy, and we like both. But
exactly,
that was an interesting take.
LMC actually put it into words.
Yeah. They actually put it in a like a description, like more in description,
they did.
an explanation.
Well, awesome. Winona, did you have more notes, or were you like?
I have more notes. I'm just putting in all the song titles so that I don't have to keep switching between the set list and this, because that's the only thing that's driving me crazy. I literally wrote down song every time the song changed because things were just going so fast, and then I would just write down more things.
My notes are a little bit more incoherent and not
Yeah,
organized.
I wrote down the song names when I knew that I knew the name of the song because they said it at that time. So yeah, like when they sang like 88, like everyone was ready to sing 88 for Maya in those first lyrics. Like he went in with Masurete, and then like everybody sang it. And then like there were points where he stopped singing, and then the crowd was literally just singing for him. It was so nice.
It was.
That was so nice.
Yeah, it's great. So it was 90 minutes. Which is very long.
It's a good length.
So like, what was that, like 15 songs or 12 songs or something like that?
No, it was like 14 songs because there was an encore. Oh wait, hold on. I'm looking at the set list. It was like 18 songs.
Jeez.
It was basically a full-length album.
It was a full-length album and then some. I think it was actually 2 hours. I remember we left at like 9:30 or something. They just went through it so fast.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because there was quite a few more MCs in it than I thought there was gonna be.
Oh yeah, and a good number of them were in English, which was really nice and easy for me. So I could just write down what he said and not try to translate it as he was saying it.
My one of the fans who I've met before at cons actually said that he actually tried more than he usually does when he's over here to do the MC in English.
Yeah, I think it's because somebody tipped him off that he should speak more in English.
Because the fan made a comment about he actually tried to speak, more in in English.
It was also on the back end. It was like heavily emphasized on the back end. He needs to speak more English for here, so that people would be excited. It was, and he took it. I'm glad he took it to heart. It wasn't me. It was somebody else. It was a tip. It was fun. I'm trying to see what was song 3. I wrote song 3 twice.
Song 3?
Song 3, a fan favorite. What was song 3?
Song 3 was. Yes.
So all my things are wrong. Everything was wrong on my thing.
Oh. Yeah, song 3 was Ghost Heart.
Mm-hmm. All my things are wrong. I was going back through to try and label all my MCs. This is not Ghost Heart. This is Medley. Oh my gosh.
There was 5 MC parts.
There were 5 MC parts, but one of the MC parts was actually turned into an encore transition.
That's true.
Yeah, the last MC was turned into an encore transition. Oh my Juliet, that just got everyone to like want to cry as they were just waving their hands in the air, and I wanted to dance, but I couldn't because of nope, it couldn't happen. I danced plenty at the booth. It was fine. I let it all out before the show. I made sure.
That's another song that the fans really tried to sing along to the entire thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one. Yeah, the fans really tried to sing along to "Oh My Juliet." Then there was "We Are LM.C" anthem played. I think that was when the pom poms came out, and you saw like the masked men cheering, being cheerleaders on the side, and I was like I saw yellow and red out of nowhere on either side of the stage. I was like, what the fuck? And there they were, just doing things. I was like, okay, oh, all right, yep, okay, yeah, they really just don't leave anywhere without hype men, which is great. That's great. That was like a little extra for the show.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Like, it's funny because I can absolutely envision it.
Right, like it's totally possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, Jeff, for you is that the Buddha is the band's favorite track off of Veda.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun
cool.
fact. Yeah, and knowing this, I could see it when they went into playing the Buddha, because they as they transitioned into the Buddha from chameleon dance, they just got more serious, and then were prepared to properly orient themselves to to put across those Buddhist motifs. Like they said, they aren't actually. They're like not. Like it wasn't that LMC themselves were like Buddhists, were Buddhists, or I can't properly quote it, so don't quote me on quoting them or this attempt to quote them, but it wasn't exactly that Veda was 100% a Buddhist album. It's just that this was the song that conveyed that concept the best, and had all those new sounds that they had worked on in there the best.
Yeah, because the rest of the album isn't like, it's not different from their past stuff in that like it all sounds like the Buddhist stuff. It's just different in that it just sounds a little bit more like LMC, a little bit more grown up, I guess. But so it sounds like that. It sounds like there was a little bit more to the Buddha than just it sounds Buddhist. Is that kind of correct? Like they kind of put like in the lyrics or things like that. Is that kind of what they were conveying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They said that they put like they literally have like a certain word in all of their songs, including avocado, which they made known to me, and they like made sure that there were like especially that lyric had to be in all the songs to tie everything together. So they made sure it was there. But then there were like certain kinds of sounds that were like put in like only like 3 songs at a time, whereas the Buddha had all of those things in it at that one time, which made it sound so different from the rest of their stuff. Yeah, I was really,
I mean, I think James and I had the exact same reaction to it, which is that when we first heard it, we were completely thrown for a loop. But then we were also like really impressed because it sounded like they leaned into it. So like they really leaned into it and like really like focused on making like a different sound. And it worked when like arguably, you know, maybe like before that album you would have been like, that shouldn't work, but it absolutely works. So that's cool to hear that the backstory that kind of explains, I think, why it works so well.
Yeah, I had asked them like if they might continue that kind of experimentation, like growing with their sound, and we'll see what they said, because I can't remember it, because I did not get very much sleep over this weekend.
What did you say? I'm trying to remember how they worded it.
Okay.
I can't remember if they said they want to, but like they were hinting that they already were. But I'm pretty sure they said they want to. I don't know if they meant like they were hinting that they already were, or maybe sometime in the future. But they did.
No, I think they said no, because there was a point where they misunderstood my question, or it got mistranslated, and they said, yeah, so like you might see more of this kind of sound, like specifically the kind of sound that's in the Buddha in their next album. That's when they said that they were working on a new album the first time before the fan panel, and then I reiterated it so that I could explain like more experimentation with other sounds, like to make LM.C's sounds more diverse, either in concept, in lyrics, or composition. And then I think they said something like,
I forgot about
they write based on how they feel, but I can't totally remember if that was an answer to my question about being in tune with their fans' emotions and what their fans are interested in, or what I said. I'm so tired right now. All my adrenaline.
No worries, guys. You guys are doing great.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was.
I have to go back through the recordings.
By the way, guys, make sure you keep an eye out for the interview that we did with LM.C. Or that Winona did with LM.C. So
no, it was me and Shiro, but it wasn't one-on-one. It was like a press junket where there were two other sites there, but I just kept asking follow-up questions. So it's like 2/3 VKH.
Yeah.
I was like, are follow-up questions okay? They're like, yeah, sure. And every question I asked had a follow-up question through no fault of my own. So.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
You worked the room basically.
Exactly.
Very nice. Very nice. Did they? This is a question from the chat. Asuka asks, did they mention why they named avocado the name that they gave it?
No, they didn't. I should have asked them that, but I made sure that we explained that avocado toast is a meme. So, yeah.
Okay, so they're aware of that now.
Now they are, but at the time, I can tell you right now that this is the best moment in the interview when IG learns that avocados are famous in the U.S.
Oh no, it was Maya. It was Maya.
No, yeah, Maya. It was Maya. Maya realizes that avocados are popular in the U.S. right now because I told. This was when I was asking one of my follow-ups saying, so it sounds like they're really aware of their fans and what they might need to hear because a lot of fans are going through an anxious time right now, or a lot of them are feeling depressed, and also avocados in the US, I also said, and also unrelated but kind of related, avocados are really popular in the US, and I think it's really interesting that they named their song Avocado. So that's great too. And then the translator went and translated the first part of my question. And then I was like, okay, what? But what else? And then I saw him. He was like, Tatoeba. I was like, here it comes the avocado part of my question. And then explained the avocado part of the question. And then Maya was like, wait, what? He said, yeah, avocados are really popular in the US right now. So we thought you that might be a thing. And Maya was like, what? Ima, really? Right now? He was like, yeah. And it was right now. And he was like, yeah. And it just went back and forth where Maya was just trying to really wrap his head around the fact that the food that is an avocado is popular in the US right now for absolutely no reason.
And I quote, I'm pretty sure his biggest reaction was the hugest I had ever.
Yeah, I was like, eh?
That was his biggest reaction.
He kept saying right now, and then no, but then he's like, really? Wow. And then he went on to say avocados used to be he said that avocados are not popular in Japan at all. They were popular in Japan 20 or 30 years ago, but not right now. And I was like, well, I literally said it well, now you know what kind of songs to write to get big in America. And he laughed, and I was like, keep doing that. Just keep writing songs about avocado.
Yeah, just real quick for any of our viewers outside of the States, if you're a little confused, avocados, there's just been a variety of memes that have happened to use it. There's the Asuka brought up the good one. That's the there's the healthy eating meme that it's oh, everything avocado, that's your diet. If you want to be healthy, everything avocado. And then this is more of a cultural meme, but it's millennial stereotype number one for the older generations to use is the millennials us millennials like to eat avocado toast apparently. So there was that's the one that I've been exposed to the most, but it's somebody in some goofball in the press ran a study or something about that, and then that just caught on, and I don't eat avocado toast, but apparently everybody in our generation
I've never had it, never tried it. I like avocados, but never avocado toast.
Yeah, so it just kind of added it to the list of those millennials on their Instagrams and eating their avocado toasts and their Starbucks, and it's
no, it was it's millennials don't have the money to buy a house, but they're willing to spend $20 on avocado toast.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh,
it's just one of those, and so then the millennials in turn started ironically using it. Oh yeah, here I go with my avocado toast again,
Yeah, so apparently avocado was just coincidentally named at this point in time.
Yeah, it was one of those internet phenomenons that it's you couldn't have predicted it, you couldn't explain it, but
I think what was better was that song was also on the set list, and I'm just hoping and praying that they don't think of me as avocado girl from this point on,
Yeah, that's funny. That'll be funny if that's how you're remembered, is the avocado girl from VKH.
Should
like
they come
me
back? Nah, should they come back and then I happen to work with them again and they're like, avocado girl, because they don't remember my name. I'll be like, yes, I am she, avocado girl.
Yeah, you gotta roll with it.
Gotta run with it. Just change my Twitter handle to avocado girl now.
That's like me and Schwarstein and being Donkey Kong girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. When we interviewed Schwarstein, we kept talking about we brought Kaya makeup as a gift, but we didn't really have we brought both of them makeup, but we knew the makeup was really Kaya's thing, and Hora really likes video games. So for Hora's air quote omiyage, we just kept giving him Easter eggs of video game references through the interview to keep him interested and wanting to engage with us. And then thereafter, he was just super happy to see us. He was like, "Oh my god, they talked about Donkey Kong in our interview." So
wow,
well played. We were talking about evolving his bands.
And yet I was so embarrassed saying referring to what he was talking about to Donkey Kong.
Nah, that worked out well because I did my research on them to make sure that they were happy with the interview.
Well, that's reassuring. Yeah. That's reassuring, actually.
Yeah, the LM.C, great band, great guys. Good guys. Yes. Good guys, LM.C.
Yes, they
LovelyMakokachong.com. The name has no meaning, I learned over this weekend, also in the interview.
Oh, okay.
This band has no real concept.
They
I kept
don't.
asking about concepts, and they were like, "Right,
we don't have any.
What's a concept?
We don't have any."
Yeah,
I can accept that. That's fine. There's you could make the case there's way too many visual key bands that have concepts.
No, it's fine. No, yeah, it's totally fine.
I think it's working in their favor.
Yeah, just like what was it called that I heard? It's like the fuck it directive or the fuck it initiative, where it's just like
they got that.
This,
none of their costumes match.
They're just like, we want to do, what we want right now, in this moment. This is what we're doing.
No, that's literally what they said about their music. Yeah, how they played, except on stage, it was very clear that they wanted to convey a certain kind of persona on stage. They want to be the fun guys, but they don't want to be the crazy guys. So they tried to contain themselves, even though they really wanted to rock out. And then there were sweet moments when they broke from that. I know Maya didn't want to mess up his hair, but there was 5 seconds where he did headbang, and then he was like, "Oh wait, no, I can't do that," and then just went back to just standing there, just moving his hands a lot to convey the story of the songs, because they said their song lyrics have a lot of meaning, and Maya's very aware that both of them are very aware that a lot of their fans in the US don't know Japanese that well. But so he did make an effort to try to convey the story of his songs through his hands, not through sign language, really, but just using his hands to tell a story. It was interesting.
Oh, that's smart. I mean, technically the majority of what you say isn't in your words, isn't conveyed in your words. It's in your vocal tonality and your body language. So if you are good enough at those, and I think performers, musicians are pretty good at it, you can go to a foreign country and kind of convey your general, it may not be functional, it may not be useful in an everyday conversation, but it's you can convey your general intentions and what you're about just through body language and speaking in a language they don't understand. So that's cool to hear that they're doing that, because you can totally do that. These bands could totally do that and come over here, and people would get the gist of it,
Yeah. I found another MC that was kind of funny, because it led to all the MCs introduced another song, but the way he introduced this song was it was funny because it was low-key a misquote of the song title. So not in that he mispronounced anything in English. It was just that he just added words that definitely would not have been added before. But it was they stopped after Funny Phantom, which was really interesting. That was more or less just straight acoustic song, right? And Maya was just running around the stage trying to get everyone to scream hi, 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 and then like got everybody to chant for IG during the song.
Yeah.
It's just an acoustic song, like it's no vocals, and Maya's literally just being the hype man. He was the hype man at that point for IG, and got everybody to be really excited for IG. And then when the lights went white and the crowd and everything went silent, Maya was like, "All right, guys, how are you feeling?" And like literally was like just listening to hear what the crowd had to say, and he's like, "What? Okay, cool." And he was like, "So we are like," he was like, "This is our first time in Pittsburgh. Thanks for inviting LM.C." And then he like was trying to properly pronounce Pittsburgh. He's like, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? And he's like, is that right? Pittsburgh? Lol. Like he laughed, and he's like, sorry, but you know, he was like, sorry, because like his English, like he was super worried about his English, but he's doing all right. And the crowd was trying to encourage him with screaming, and he was like, so, and he said this in English. I mean, he said this in Japanese. He's like, I'm having fun. He's like, do you know what? And then he said this part in English. Do you know what I mean? And everybody screamed, and he was like, yeah, okay. So the next song, I think it's gonna be a favorite. He's like, the next one is called Juliet. He's like, can you sing with us? He's like, can you sing with us? And everybody freaking screamed because it's Oh My Juliet. Yeah. Like I said, it was my favorite, and everyone went crazy. And having felt all that excitement from him just saying Juliet, Maya was so freaking pumped. And he was like, all right, let's rock. It's Oh My fucking Juliet. And then they went. Yeah. And then it just went so hard for Oh My Juliet. And I was like, wow.
I remember that. Oh my
God. I was like, yeah, it's Oh My fucking Juliet. That's how you introduce this song to people who don't know it. So everyone's gonna go on YouTube and look up Oh My fucking
Juliet.
That's how I felt.
That's great.
Yeah, rock stars.
Let's get fucking happy.
It's funny fucking fans. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was great. And yeah, I think that was the hardest intro to a song at that point in the show.
Yeah.
The lights were like red, and like you just get Maya saying this hard ass step by step, and like in the first 3 words, and he's like skipping across the stage. And then the fans are literally like screaming along, not even singing, because they're literally trying to like beat Maya's mic. They just want to hear themselves sing, but also hear Maya sing, but also just enjoy that moment. And then as they go, they're literally chanting with the stay, yay, 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 go, 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 like along with it. 'Cause, like honestly, same. I've been doing that all day at the booth because we were playing a live DVD on repeat for the past 3 days, and it got to a point where like all those songs got stuck in my head, and I was like, yo, if they play this exact set list from this exact show, I'm straight. And they kind of did, so I'm all right. But yeah, they kind of did. I recognized like a good number of those songs. So even though I didn't like totally prep for LM.C, me working that booth was enough prep for this show as it was.
Yeah. They probably picked that kind of a set list just because it's like,
they're
if they were
aware.
confident enough to release it on DVD, you know, it's like pretty solid, you know, combination of songs.
Not even just that. I think that this was all like really well planned and orchestrated because they planned to play that DVD file. Like it wasn't like the DVD hooked up into a DVD player. They like sent it to the company, and it was this 2-hour long file. And it was fucking huge. But they had to plan to play that on TV because you have to make requests for things beforehand. So they played that DVD on a TV at the booth all 3 days to like get people to know who LM.C is, because I think they're aware of their standing, that like they're not as big in America as they are in the US, but they do have a lot of fans here. And having played that DVD was a really smart move because a lot of people literally stopped, looked at the TV, and I was like, this is how we get people to go to the show, for one, and for two, this is how we sell more merch, because more people, unfortunately, they didn't sell any CDs. I don't know why, and I think it was either because they didn't have the room for them, or they sold out the last time they had brought CDs. But a lot of people were asking about CDs just because they liked what they saw on the DVD. And then when they couldn't get CDs, they were like, okay, well, I'm going to definitely check them out tonight, like at the concert tomorrow night or whatever. And then when they went to that show, a lot of people who were just like curious about the band didn't come up to me about CDs. Right after the show, they were like, yo, do you have CDs? That show was lit. Like, they really enjoyed that concert. And then when they said, well, if we can't get CDs here, like, do they have them online? And I was like, yeah, they're on iTunes. So LMC sold themselves really well. And having planned to play that DVD and then planning the set list the way they did, like playing songs that people probably heard all through the 3 days of the con, that did super well.
Yeah, that's yeah, I totally agree. Seems like it was a really smart move. We'll have to keep that in mind for future cons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pass that tip along to any bands, you know, that are planning to con, you know.
Yeah.
Asaka wanted to know which DVD it was that was playing.
It has Yaon in the title, I can tell you that, because I was just kind of, I didn't read the titles. I was more or less just kind of exchanging DVDs with money, and then just like, all right, let me get you that DVD. Here's your change. Here's some tickets. Here's a raffle tickets. Okay, thank you so much. Come to the show. Stickers. Bye.
I can see the cover in my head, but I can't see the name.
It's LM.C, Yaon, D Fever, Max, maybe?
Max.
Does that sound like it? Yaon.
It's Yaon Day Fever Max.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was that DVD. It's a dope DVD. It was $65, but I really wanted it, but I didn't buy it because it was $65. So, they also sold their Shokes Volume 2. They sold an omnibus of all their Shokes files. And it was the second volume of it, and it sold out like the first day. And all their t-shirts sold out in like the first 2 days. And they sold super well. They just sold really well. They're a really good band, and people got into them. They're easy. They're super easy to market. Just super easy to market band. Like, keep bringing them back because they're just a really good band. People love them. They can get more fans super easily, and they can go on another tour in 3 years.
Yeah. This is really good to know. Really good to keep them in mind because it sounds like it went off. It sounds like they made a great 2018 impression. So
it really did. It was a really great show.
It was.
My notes. They played Crazy a Go-Go, and this basically just goes off of every song kept getting harder and faster until they hit slow songs, but even then it was just they created a monster, and by the time it was time for them to leave the stage and prepare for the encore, like people just kept chanting LMC. They weren't even chanting encore, they just kept chanting LMC. They were like, let's go, we want more. Nobody tried to leave. Nobody really gave up. Like, the crowds that were in the back had floated to the front at that point for the most part, and it was wild. Then they came back on stage and everything was even crazier, and then the lights were even crazier, and there were even more lasers, and there was even more dust coming from the ceiling, and then there was confetti when they played when they announced Funky Heart. Even the band was excited because they knew, like I said, and it was just awesome. And then the confetti, and then the flag, and there was a flag that was signed by some of the fans. And Maya was like, yes, here's our flag. It's got our LMC logo. And they flipped it around. It said arigato, like for the fans, to everyone for coming and stuff. And then he just ran around the stage with a flag, like a cape, and like then he sprayed more water into the audience because he was just feeling so good. Everybody's just feeling so good. And
there was a splash zone.
Yeah, they all took pictures at the end, and it was just nice.
Yeah, it was.
Such a nice show.
It was a wonderful way to end a concert, even though everyone didn't want it to end.
Yeah, I mean, it was an 18-song show, and I definitely have more notes here, and still definitely trying to go through all my notes.
I have to add more of my notes. I'm just trying to gather it all together.
Yeah, no, you guys have done a great job. I think we got plenty.
Wait, there was a cute moment in an MC.
Okay, go for it.
Because all the MCs were just nice and in English, and then they were all cute. So This one was after. This was after Mogura played, I think, and like, let's see. Maya was like, "This is really fun, haha," and then people were just like screaming, and he was like, "What?" And people were screaming, "I love you," and then Maya's like, "You love me? Well, we love you more," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah.
He's like, "We love you more," really, and then he's like, "Okay, keep it going, keep on rocking, keep on jumping, keep on singing." So do, and then he was like, "So, what's your favorite song of LMC?" And everyone screamed it at the same time. So it was hard to understand. I was like, "Oh no." And then he went, "Okay, I don't get it, but do you guys know the anime Reborn?" And he was like, "It's a Japanese manga animation. And the record is Hachi Hachi." And he was like, "Do you know the song 88?" And then everybody started getting more and more excited as he kept talking about it. Like, first Reborn, slight excitement, Hachi Hachi, people who understood the numbers, excited, 88, everyone excited, everyone pumped. Yeah. They're just like, "Oh my gosh, this is the song I've been waiting for." And he's like, "I don't know how to pronounce it, but can you sing with us? Let's hear it." No. This was when he was like, "Let's hear you sing." And then silence. And then JK, okay. Anyway, the song 88, try to sing with us. And he's like, "Let's go, 88." And then 88 played and everyone went crazy. Yeah. And that's yeah.
Oh, they weren't silent. They just all screamed.
I just remember nonsense, and I just associated that. Okay, so like nonsense. Yeah. No, like some people screamed and some people didn't.
Sang.
I think it was just people around you who screamed, because I had been running around that whole room, and like literally half the room was like, "Is he serious?" And then the other after some silence, then people tried to do things.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, it's all good. It's okay. Don't worry about it." He was like waiting for them to sing, and they were like, "Are you not gonna play? Are you not gonna play so we can sing with you?" They felt gypped.
It was pretty funny.
It was really funny.
All right. Well, this has been great, guys. Thanks for giving us the inside scoop. Sounds like they made a great first impression. Sounds like
a third impression or a fourth impression.
Well, I guess like a first impression on like on the people that weren't familiar with them. Yeah. So that's really good. We'll definitely make sure to keep an eye on LMC. LMC's like activity and growth kind of like overseas, because I have ways to keep tabs on that and stuff. So that's good to know. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add? Just any final thoughts or anything like that?
It was a bomb show, and it was like great working with them. If you haven't seen them, I know like they don't get to travel around the US as much as they would like to, like going to different cities, but since this is like their third time back in the US, and the last time they were here was last year, I think I don't know if we can expect them back again for like a third year in a row, but like I think if you get the chance to see LMC, it's definitely worth it, because this was a really great show. It was my first time seeing them live ever.
Mine too.
It was amazing. Definitely, I agree with Shira. Like one of my top concerts. Whenever there's confetti or like some kind of extra thing in there, I love the concert automatically, like disco balls. But they had like hype men and confetti and lasers, and I was like, "How did you do all these things?" And it just made me really happy. So yeah, it was all
awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, it really wasn't. Like I said earlier, it's most definitely in the top like 3 best concerts I've ever been to, and I really honestly cannot compliment this concert enough. It was amazing. It was so much fun. They are definitely, if you haven't seen them, definitely go see them when they come around again. It's worth it all.
Great. Well, there you guys have it. You heard it. You heard it here first. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any friends that would be interested in hearing about how the LMC concert turned out, and they're too excited, they don't want to wait for the live reports and stuff, make sure to share this video with them. It'll be up as soon as the stream's over. keep if you like this, you want to get more inside scoops on like this, or just talk about anything related to J-Rock and Visual K, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell so you get notifications. I know, Asaka, you said in the chat you didn't get a notification for this stream. I'm gonna look into it. I heard through the YouTube grapevine that there's some fuckery going on with how they're handling the notifications. They've kind of changed it again on us, so I will kind of try and adjust for that. But in terms of upcoming articles for this, we have an interview with them that will be up. Is that correct, guys?
Yes.
And then
it's yeah.
Yeah. and then a live report as well. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a live report. Yeah.
Okay.
The interview, I'm just trying to figure out how to format it because it was a press junket. Last time I did one, it was video. I just recorded it on my video, and it was for Team Revolution. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. So make sure you follow us make sure you follow us on social media and check out our website, vkh-press.com for more information about LM.C at Tekko. Thanks again, Winona. Thanks again, Shiro. And,
no problem.
We're dedicated because we did this. I think we're more dedicated now.
Yeah, we're the best. You guys just made us the best. So
exactly.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.